was morphed and it was cloned, and even the people who have been doing it, the hackers who've been doing it, they have been arrested and so on. So celebrities are also not to spare, taking the cue forward, can I request the next slide, which has to speak about another very famous celebrity figure. I myself is a big fan of him, Ranveer Singh, and we've again seen a lot of rounds of fake videos being circulated where he's seen to criticize the Honorable Prime Minister, and later he comes up to the public saying that it was absolutely fake, and there was this a lot of, if you observe that video, it will show that lip syncing and the irregularities by which it was very easily identified, the people who tried putting in those deep fake videos and so on. I'll request of the next slide. Now moving from the glamour industry, I move down to a more serious context, and I speak about the various political people who have also not been spared in the process of, manipulation and fabrication. And the first person is none other than the Prime Minister himself. There have been a lot of fake videos, deep fake videos, some of which has been satirical in tone in addressing several issues. He has been, in one video, he has been even shown to have participated in a Garba dance, and later he laughed and mocked at it, and he said that I've never probably done like this even in my school days and so on. Other than this, there have also been allegations where he has been trying to promote investment, private investment apps and so on, and therefore again an issue of concern. I mean, the Prime Minister is also not safe in this current digital ecosystem. Can I request the next slide? The next slide, please. I bring in another important personality, and I speak about none other than, our finance minister. We speak about, there have been a lot of issues where again, particularly when there was this GST being, when we were trying to, when the government of India was trying to implement the GST, there were a lot of fake videos of her going and circulating and saying that GST is again something which is going to mislead people, and it was indeed, there was an altered name. It was called Gopaniya Suchna tax, which was actually, that's how GST was renamed, and there was a new version of it, and later she came up to the public, and there have been much amount of deepfake analysis unit which have later said that her voice was cloned using AI technology, and the deepfake videos of hers were actually prepared and circulated. So none of the people, it goes about, whether it is the politicians, whether it's the celebrities, or whether it is the big financial, advisors, none of us somewhere is safe. We've been, Sir has been speaking just before me, talking about how vulnerable even, if they are not safe, we are more vulnerable. And that is exactly what Sir has also been emphasizing in his speech, in his deliberation, when he said that how social media and using of, dispersing informations for logging into and making, downloading several social media apps, how risky it is for every citizen. So there rings the alarm bell very strong. I mean, if people of prominence and eminence are not, spared, then we also will not be spared. Can I request of the next slide? And here is what I point out. This is particularly to speak why we should be concerned, and some very important observations that I've kept, particularly in terms of when we speak about fake videos, when we are speaking in cases of deep fake videos, we are talking about misinformations and fake informations and disinformations being created, which is absolutely, creating intentionally wrong informations and misguiding people. And that's ethically just not accepted a format of communication. So we should be concerned about deepfake videos and deepfake, the various challenges that come out of it, because definitely there are a lot of wrong informations that get spread amongst the society people because of, if we fail to control the circulation of deepfake videos, we will definitely see a lot of information which is absolutely fabricated, which is absolutely manipulated, and has nothing to do with reality. We also should be concerned about deepfake videos because, as I said, if political people and even the celebrities, there have been viral videos which have been going where they speak about, say take for example the instance that I showed about Ranveer Singh's video. Ranveer Singh, when he ultimately turns up, first he criticizes Narendra Modi, secondly he goes about asking the people, tells them to vote for Congress. So somewhere what we get subjected to is what we speak in terms of election manipulation. So that again should be a strong area of concern for all of us. Financial scams, that is the third thing that I highlight in my slide. It talks about how I've used instances and I've told you how people, get succumbed, general citizens, lay citizens like people like you and me, particularly the rural population. We fall a victim to all such financial scams which get circulated on the social media, and hence we should be concerned about deep fake videos in relation to financial scams which get circulated. And the major concern, the public trust is being broken. I mean, even Shashwati ma'am was speaking about this major concern. We should be concerned about this because we are losing to trust, and having the faith that we genuinely would have on mediated platforms. She spoke about the gatekeeping scenario getting slowly broken down, and probably this can be dangerous, when people lose trust and faith. Whom to believe? That is now becoming very difficult a question to answer, and so on. Can I request the last slide? And that's just some mechanisms that I have put in together, some basic fundamental things which we can do to keep ourselves protected, falling victim or falling prey to deepfake videos. And first definitely comes in terms of being education. It speaks about public awareness. It speaks about the importance of digital literacy. My other senior colleague members also spoke about this. It speaks about people growing cautious, and let's become skeptical of what we see. We are in the age of social media, which speaks about instantaneous, sharing possibilities, and without a second's thought, without even stopping for a second, we go about hurriedly sharing videos and all deepfake videos that have to be generated. We don't stop to ask the question as to whether the video is something which is authentic, who has created the video, what is the purpose of the video. We've lost questioning ourselves. We've lost the art of being or doing critical analysis, and that's the need of the hour, for which we need education, for which we need to create awareness amongst the public who often falls a victim to it. Also, along with it, we need to encourage people to use and to teach them also to a great extent, motivate them to check out with various fact-checking websites. There are a lot of options like the Boom Live, the Alt News. There are multiple number of them, like there is Factly, which can be used if there is something which seems skeptical. Let's stop, let's pause for a second, let's do some amount of crucial thinking, critical thinking, let's do some analysis, and then only continue to find whether this is genuine before we blindly accept the fact and so on. Also, it's important, and the next points that I point out is particularly from the perspective of, the deepfake detection tools. There are a lot of deepfake detection tools also which are available. However, from the context of Indian perspective, there's much, challenge that we pose, having such a huge population, and educating them, literating them with deepfake detection tools, and making them skilled enough to identify definitely lies a major challenge. I would also speak about issues and important concerns that the social media, should also be concerned about. It's social media organization, the social media's handles should be aware of what is being shared, and they should be there should be an, some amount of monitoring, some amount of labeling, some amount of flagging deepfake content, so that people who are receiving those knows that it is synthetically prepared, and it's being prepared using technologies of, the advanced latest technologies, and these are not something which are to be blindly believed or blindly accepted, and so on. And last but not the least, we need to have policy intervention. We need to speak in terms of, legal actions, legal formations. The worst thing is, even though I had so much of statistics to share about the growing instances of deep fake instances being reported in India, but however, we don't have any particular, legal provision to handle such sensitive issues. Even if there is a case, like take for example any of these cases which speaks about a person of name and fame being defamed, we have it usually handled under the law of defamation. Ideally, we should have some legal provisions for dealing with the deepfake issues and so on. Usually, it gets all, somewhere we negotiated with it, we try to identify the cause and deal it with the general provisions that the IT Act has to leave. But there has to be something with the growing concerns over deepfake media and the easy possibility of technology in generating so easy contents. This is really something which is the need of the hour, that we have legal provisions and policy intervention to actually protect, to keep ourselves protected, to keep the countrymen protected, and so on. And on this note, I finish. I again take this opportunity to thank everyone who's been a patient listener to what I've been trying to share, and my gratitude to all the senior academicians present here. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for highlighting the facts, especially in a country like India, where we have such diverse audiences. We often get influenced by the celebrities, be it sportspersons, entrepreneurs, political parties, and we get convinced not only by their lifestyle or their work ethics, but also the choice of brands which they make. And this is the fact that deepfake is actually a serious concern. Thank you so much, ma'am. Now, may I now request Professor Dr. V.L. Dharurkar to offer his closing remarks for this session.
Thank you very much for patient listening. Data privacy in the digital age, issues and concerns, is a very serious topic. It raises several questions, and many of them are unanswerable. However, in the dynamics of democracy, what is more important is to develop media logic and also media literacy. Privacy is a thing which is having both the sides. Media has to follow certain regulations, but when media crosses its own Lakshman Resha, there emerge many problems. Sometimes institutions also do some interesting problems. So unfortunately, if there is a clash between the two circles of the government, NGOs, and personal life of an individual, we'll find a democracy, when matures through the ages, then there are certain ethical dimensions developed. Harold Lasky wrote a very interesting book, Constitutional Morality. And this is a book which was of great concern regarding perpetuating moral values in the democratic way of life. In spite of the 75 years march of our democracy, still we have to develop certain moral code of ethics, certain convictions, certain kind of, regulations, self-regulations. And when I wrote a very extensive book on journalism in 21st century, there is a special topic on digital journalism. And in this book, there is a topic on media ethics. In this one, I have explained what are the international rules and regulations, international highlights of media ethics. And it has been sharply focused that many Western countries, it is very much believed in the code of ethics that media should not enter or poke nose in the private life of an individual. If you criticize a person in the public post, it's all right. But again, you have to give the other say, what the individual wants to say about that. But unfortunately, in the present era of media marshalling, what they do, they publish a news and don't ask the other side of the news, or they don't interview the person who is in focus there. So this is a kind of one-way traffic. Right to privacy is a very important phenomenon. In Mahabharata, there are stories of a bird which was observing, and if a person is visiting the king, how much he is suspicious, how much he is fair, the bird used to give the voices. In the present world, there are electronic birds. There are certain monitoring systems which understand deep fake video. Or in Hindu or Times of India, few years back, they used to publish a column on the page number 4 or 5 that whenever you suspect some information, a fake news, fake video, you put your information data there, they will evaluate and answer to that problem. So, leading prestigious newspapers in the world have a practice of examining the fake videos. In this interesting session, Professor Shashwati Gangopadhyay of Bardwan University has presented a very nice paper with a critical understanding. Then Mr. Sarangi, who is in the profession itself, he is a product of Ferguson College, Pune. He is an MBA of Ferguson College, and he is having a course in BTech course in information technology. He has very well explained the various dimensions of privacy. And also, Rashmi Naskar explained about the phenomena of deepfake in the AI age. So these are the various important subjects which are closely linked to each other. And in order to understand the print media, the electronic media, the radio media, and internet media, and social media together, in India, when I was in Mumbai, there was a World Audiovisual Entertainment Summit, WAVE. So, wherein the audiovisual waves are coming up, and in these waves, tremendous amount of data, information, the modern media, we call it as infotainment media. And data privacy, as rightly Professor Nagaraj told, it is not democracy but datacracy. And in this data-driven media, market-driven media, privacy is put to test. So, right to life, in the fundamental rights of the Indian Constitution, from Article 19, individuals' right to life must be protected. And right to privacy is a part of the right to life, and all these things are quasi-legal and quasi-ethical. Bertrand Russell was once asked, what is ethical and what is unethical? He said that there is a fake line When I feel something good after doing, that is ethical. And if I feel bad after doing that, that is unethical. So Bhartrhari was a king in India who wrote 3 Niti Shatak. 300 slokas he wrote, stating about the phenomena of ethics. In India, kings were also the exponents of ethics. So, ethics has very significant micro dimensions of privacy. And Peter Drucker, a great management guru, wrote more than 25 books. He was in Detroit. So once he said, institutions, those flourish, those who follow the rules, regulations, and ethics. When you follow rules, regulations, and equally ethics, the institutions flourish. There is no need to any ISI certification for them. They flourish on global level. So if media wants to rule the world, the Voice of America, a public broadcasting company of America, has its motto. They say, we keep America on the top of the world. If Prasar Bharati of India wants to keep India on the top of the world, we should develop, in spite of our Satya, Shiva, Sundar, Bahujan Hitaya, Bahujan Sukhaya, the objective of All India Radio and the objectives of television, we have to develop beyond that own ethical philosophy, own cultural philosophy of media. Unfortunately, both at public and private side, Indian media lacks ethical, philosophical communication policies, and there is a need, there is a high time to develop such a policy to come out of the crisis. Thank you very much for the patient listening. Thank you all. Thank you all the participants for their illuminating ideas. Thank you all.
Thank you so much, sir, for your comprehensive concluding observations. Now we move towards the felicitation ceremony. May I request our conclave chairman, Professor Pari, to kindly felicitate our chairperson and all the esteemed speakers, acknowledging their invaluable contribution to this plenary session. Sir. Now, As we come to the close of this enlightening session, it's my honor to propose the vote of thanks. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our esteemed chairperson, Professor Dr. V.L. Tharurkar, our distinguished speakers, the organizers of the 9th National Media Conclave, especially Professor Pari, for his guidance, faculty members, research scholars, and enthusiastic participants. Now I request all the participants to finish the lunch quickly, and the bus will leave at 2:30 p.m. in front of the auditorium. So please be gathered in front of the auditorium at 2:30. The parallel session will start at Keith School of Journalism campus. Thank you so much, everyone, once again.